here you go. I don't know if this story is funny or not, but it's a true event, and I think this is a story that someone like your friend would never tell. This would go in a mental lockbox and be thrown off the Hoover Dam. So it was the day after Thanksgiving. We cooked for my parents, and I've been eating clean, pretty clean, kind of clean, like not 100% clean, but on a scale of 1 to 10, like a 7. I've been eating about a 7 clean. Well, Thanksgiving, holidays, that's off for clean eating. So I fucked it up on Thursday. And normally Friday mornings about 8:30 a.m., I take a celebratory poop. Every day at work, I get most of my stuff done and ready and prepped for the street. And then I go down to the facilities and I drop a nasty little deuce. I mean, always nice and firm, nice and solid. And on this particular Friday, I think after, going through and digesting my Thanksgiving meal, my body was just a little off kilter. I'm like, I didn't poop this morning. Interesting. Maybe it'll come a little later on tonight. So I hit the street. I'm walking. I got a 9-mile walk in front of me. I get about 7 of those miles in, and I feel like like, what's that, tummy? Ooh, we should find a place to go. Well, I'm sorry to inform you, there's no place to go at this moment. But if we can give ourselves another hour and 30 minutes, we can have all the time in the world to rest and relax and play some good old-fashioned Toon Blast on the toilet while we blow it up. I get about an hour into that, and this is where I've also been watching a lot of motivational stuff, self-talk. It's real helpful. You can do this. You're better than this. You have forged greater, hotter fires than the one you're forging right now, and you can make your way through. However, if you remember about a year ago, I had a little thing done on my anus, and I still have to put some cream down there, which numbs it up. And I don't know if you've ever tried to make a fist with a hand that's fallen asleep in the middle of the night, but it ain't exactly your most strength-inducing moment. So I've got a butthole that's been numbed up that I'm trying to keep the gates closed, but I have to talk myself into it. And I get to the final half mile of walking that I got to do for the day, and I keep telling myself, if you can make it back to the truck, it's a 5-minute jaunt to the toilet, and you're going to be just fine, buddy. You can do this. Well, if anybody was watching me walk that day, I had to pretend that I had sprained my ankle and was dragging my other foot behind me because I could not release the butt cheeks, or it was going to release every foul tasting fucking cranberry sauced up juice that was inside of my body. And I got back to that truck, and I decided I couldn't make it that 5 minutes back to the old post office. It was time to drop trowel in the back of the truck inside a plastic tub and let loose the gates of Hades. And that's exactly what I did, my friends. I shat in a plastic bucket in the back of a 30-year-old truck. And I'm very proud of myself for it.
Yeah, that's fine.
USA. Jesus. Was this is this a bucket, just a random utility bucket in case of fire?
No. This is like our equipment. It's like it's like one of those corrugated B flute kind of plastic buckets, like like the heavy cardboard that you would get, but it's made out of like a plastic.
Gotcha.
And
gotcha.
Here's the thing, though. I gotta say, I feel like I'd been training the last year and a half for this one moment, because I don't know if you've ever had to try to phantom squat over top of a 2-foot tall bucket before to release your bowels. There's a lot of quad strength that goes into this particular feat. It's not just like, I'll just kind of squat. No, because if I sat on the edges of the bucket was going to topple over or crush under my own weight. There's nothing. So I had to actually do like the wall, the chair on the wall where you just put your back against the wall.
Yeah.
But there was only the wall of the truck while I defecated.
Yeah.
And by the way, I don't know what the square footage of this is. Alan, if you can do the math for me, the tub at the bottom is 1 foot by 2 foot. And this,
I need more than that, but yeah.
Okay, so the surface area of the bottom of the tub is 1 foot by 2 feet. Of course.
How deep is it, though?
We're not going to worry about the deepness because I'm just going to say that the swirl that I left inside that thing covered every surface area of the floor of that tub.
Well,
and
I don't find that to be surprising. The question is, how deep was it?
I mean, it was at the bottom.
Would it cover the sole of your shoe? You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, the thickness. Oh man, we're talking
that's what I'm
like
saying, like depth. Yeah.
like a restaurant cheeseburger. Yeah,
Oh wow.
yeah.
Like what? Like Red Robin restaurant cheeseburger or like Fuddruckers?
Ooh, I would say more of a Red Robin, but I would
Okay.
lean towards like a double patty Red Robin. It
Yeah.
was hefty. It was girthy. It was also fluffy. I was very proud of this. Like if I
Like
because usually
like if you had let's say like a basic like a Chuck Taylor, would your toes have gotten poopy?
your shoelaces would have gotten poopy.
Oh boy!
Man.
Oh, that's a lot of poop.
Yeah, that's a lot of mortar.
We should just keep this the poop episode. Do we have to do anything we talked
I've
about?
already. Good night, everyone. Middle class souls. Got to use the bathroom.
Show this to that chick.
Yeah, right. It's like,
Send
hey,
it to her directly.
you were the inspiration of quite the segment.
Got something for you.
So, Murr, what did you do? What did you do with the bin? Did you recycle it or?
Well, no, I decided. Like I said, it was pretty clean what came out of me. Like it was a. Oh, and then by the way, the wiping. I was like, what am I gonna do? I can't just pull my underwear up, or it might as well just go on in my pants.
You're a mailman.
And so
Somebody's mail, dude. No one reads that shit.
I was all done. I had finished my day. That's the greatest part of this is like I actually finished the day. I was actually giggling because I'm like, you did it, you made it, but you're not gonna make it back. It was almost like suicide mission. I completed the mission, but I couldn't finish the journey. And so I started rooting around through my my bag that I put all my drinks and like knit cap in case it gets cold, fingerless gloves and all that shit. I'm rooting around like, what can I do? What can I do? And guess what I found? I found a mask. It had been in there since the start of the pandemic.
Hey, man.
And I was like, look at you, baby. Finally. It was like it was like this awe-inspiring moment. Like all this time you had this mask in here from this virus that never got you. And you had to wipe your ass and you wouldn't have been able to do it if China hadn't released that flu into the world. And then I wiped and it was a clean wipe, no streaks. So then I found this is what I did. I actually drove around until I found a spot. I'm like, this is where I would let my dog shit and not pick it up because no one's using this spot. No one's walking here. This is just a fucking virgin ground. It's out of everybody's way. No one's going to step in this. And then I slammed the tub down as hard as I could. There was a whole bunch of residue in there. So when I got back, I just tossed that puppy in the dumpster. No harm, no foul.
Yeah. Good stuff, man. Way to go. Fucking hey. Let's just say a couple years from now, you're in a job interview. Someone's like, hey, tell me about a time you dealt with some serious adversity in your previous workspace. Keep that story in your fucking back pocket. I think that might go a long way. I mean, that's, Alan, correct me if I'm wrong. That's, it's a lot of diversionary tactics. It's weighing your options, waiting for the right moment, being tactical, calculative.
There's a lot that goes into it if you think about it.
A lot that comes out of it if you think about it.
True. That's true. Well, hey, you gotta put in to get out, right? So
Yeah.
I think I was so happy at the end because it was warranted. I would have been so upset if like a couple little nuggets just kind of like plop, punk, 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 a couple little rocks, little boulders fell out. But nah, man, this was the anaconda black snake, and it was just ready to fucking gnaw its teeth, man. It was ready to go. And so it was completely warranted. I had no other choice because there was one point where I was literally dragging. I'm not kidding when I say I was dragging my leg, pretending to be hurt. So if someone saw me, I had the meat sweats, like where I was actually physically starting to beat up with sweat, but I was cold. I was flopping out there, man. And I made it. And I just remembered that this other guy I know, he carries a Maxwell House coffee tub in his truck just in case one of these emergencies comes around. And I was just like, man, I got to tell Rich, man, you better get something else, something a little heavier and chock full of nuts because that ain't going to do.
It's chock full of butts.
yeah, you gotta imagine a hot, soupy, chock full of nuts can. Ugh, that's not good.
Well, good for you. Good for you, Murr.